Alright, looks like we're live. Good evening. This is Jupiter Exile. And I got back from some celebrations. My nice Thanksgiving visit, hung out with some family. And now that since I'm home, I want to play Bloodborne. Getting everything set up a while. I am proud to announce that this is my first stream as a Twitch affiliate. I officially got the affiliate status last night. I was getting a couple things set up. I haven't explored everything that being an affiliate means, or, you know, all that stuff, whatever it happens to be. I don't know. Alright. It's the Heart of Player 3. I believe I've got another Chalice ritual to perform. With the lower Chalice, I need some more Blood Echoes for that. So, yeah, if you've got, you know, subs hanging out, burning a hole in your pocket, I'd appreciate it very much if you throw a little of that my way. No, don't let your Bezos bucks burn. I need to sell a bit, I think. I'm a little short on blood vials after last time, it seems. I'm going to sell a little bit of my ritual blood, too. That should give me enough to unlock the next Chalice dungeon. There we go. And I'll spend the rest on healing vials, blood vials. There we go. So we're going to chop away at this Chalice dungeon for a bit. I believe this is our depth 3. That's our depth 3. Before I get into that, I don't think I needed to change any of my seals. Why is that displaying as 144 minus 6? What's with the minus? Hey there. Good to see you. Yeah, I have now officially hit the affiliate, so I can now accept subscriptions. Unfortunately, you'll occasionally get ads while watching, but, you know, that's just the way it is. We're going to roll with that. Why is this listing out that I do 144 minus 6? That's different. All of a sudden. I don't know why that's happened. And it is just that. Oh, it's because my durability is low. I actually need to repair the weapon. That is a lot of cost. So I forgot how weapon repairing works. I think my damage has actually been declining for a while. So that's something. I'm going to have to head off somewhere or farm something real quick to get a bit of souls. Thank you for your support. I'm going to head over to the Cathedral Ward and kill a couple random goons so that I can repair this weapon. Enjoy some coffee while I'm at it. Yeah, I'm still pretty wired because I had some coffee on the drive back. We were heading back over from Romney, West Virginia, where I've got some family. It was great to catch up with them. Like, meeting family members, in some cases for the first time. I've seen them in 10 years. So that was really cool. Catch up with all the things that have changed in people's lives, give them my well wishes, and honestly, just spend a bit of time being thankful that my family situation is uncomplicated. Like, I have so many friends who are having a rough time in their family situation for one reason or another, and it's like heartbreaking, right? That's how you get that guy knocked down. A nice sweeping cut across his legs. Gets me a couple blood vials, very nice. I need to kill about 2 more guys in order to get my souls up. What? DualShock battery level low. I just had this plugged in. I guess it wasn't charging while the console was off. So now I've learned that that is the case. I'll have to leave the console on if I want to charge it. Well, let's hope that doesn't prevent me from playing for as long as I want to. Well, if it does, then I'll just change off to, if I lose battery on the controller, then I'll change off to Dead by Daylight and just hillbilly people for a while. Ow. I'm a little concerned that multiplayer games won't have a ton of people online, because I certainly hope they have better things to do. I really feel like, or expect, that everybody should be stricken with the itis right about now. I even put it in the title. No, I didn't. Oh, I forgot. No, I put it in my post in Discord to ask people to jump in and combat their itis with me. Okay, let me see. I need to warp back to get my weapon repaired, and then I can dive right into the Chalice dungeons. I completely forgot how weapon durability worked in the game. I suppose I was hammering away at that boss with a really noteworthy damage penalty when I was sitting down last night. So this Thanksgiving celebration is ultimately going to be the lesser of my two. The one that's going to be a bigger get-together for me is the one where I'm cooking. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Went from -6 to +51 on our damage modifiers there. Pretty noteworthy. Let's head into this Chalice dungeon. And note to self, I do need to periodically come back and repair this weapon. Although that's an amount of damage that has been, like, damage from the beginning of the game up to now. I haven't tried to repair it at all. So it does take a really long time for it to wear down. Okay, the lower labyrinth. We're at Labyrinth Depth 4. We should have 3 bosses around here for us to take out. And I think that will give us access then to, like, the Hintertombs. Okay, we've got some spiders now. Got a bit of health. Notable. Blood vials. Still not remembering where the heck the illusory walls hang out. I stepped on a trap there. It's not too bad. The tricky thing about these spiders, I remember there is a bell ringer, a summoner, who can summon spiders, and that's really awful, because they've got quite a lot of health to work with. Speaking of a bit of health, this guy seems healthier than normal snatchers by a lot. Now he's dealt with. Whoa, hey! Where'd you come from? Yeah, we've got a lot of enemies showing up with more health here. I think Chalice dungeons actually give enemies like a standard buff based on your depth, without necessarily considering them as having flat values like they do in the rest of the game. this patterning. Okay, we've got a big chest down there. That's cool. Alright, we start seeing these dudes with the big swords. They're pretty dangerous, from what I recall. So, I'm going to see if I can loot the chest before I fight him. Real slow. Ouch. Yeah, that completely one-shot me. I was kind of worried that might happen, and we didn't get the chest looted. Yeah, now that I got the affiliate status, I don't think I can lose the affiliate status if my viewership drops, so I don't have to worry about that anymore, which is pretty nice. I don't know if that'll necessarily result in me streaming any more or less. I'm just going to be doing the same stuff. I was thinking that I might sit down and do something else tonight, but I did really want to play Bloodborne. The other things on my roster, I was thinking I might just boot up the single-player mode in Legends of Runeterra for a while. It's like a really casual thing to do. But I've seen some gameplay of that mode. I know it's not super challenging, so I don't know if that would hold my interest very long. Maybe. I mean, this part of this Chalice dungeon isn't immensely challenging. I'm just kind of running around doing some basic stuff. Was there a guy who came out at me? Yeah, a little bit. Ouch. He corrected that around. Or I dodged into him, I can't tell which. He turned that around completely. I didn't know they could do that for the bag smack. So, note to self, move out on the bag smack. Yeah, so I'm planning, at the very least, to be up until midnight, jamming on this. I'm expecting that I'll probably clear out this Chalice dungeon, get into the Forbidden Woods. I might get stuck for a while on the... what are they called? The Phantoms of Yharnam, the Shades of, I think it's the Shades of Yharnam? I can't remember exactly what the boss is called, but I think it's the Shades of Yharnam. It's a 3-on-1 fight with some spooky snake dudes. Oh, that's just a corpse. That's not a guy. Hey, buddy. Oh, I walked right into his foot. Yeah, he's doing more damage than other snatchers. Because that was not lethal before now. So I gotta watch out for that. I could just run past him and loot the chest. I'm just gonna do that. I don't need to worry about my blood echoes, so long as I'm not burning through healing vials. I'm going to be more eager to blitz through Chalice dungeons and labyrinths than I am to blitz through the main game, because I know that the loot in the Chalice dungeons is usually not important, with a couple exceptions. I do need to get enough loot from the Chalice dungeons to unlock the next Chalice dungeon. Yeah, that's the trap on the floor, the little panel there. This guy might actually run me down. The Snatcher, I know, will really struggle to come after me. Okay, so it was through here, and then at the bottom of the stairs in this room, there's this guy who I'm just going to avoid. Grab that ritual blood. And I missed my dodge, so I'm dead. But that's fine. I don't need to go that direction again. Now I'm just going to go the straight path in the dungeon. I'm speaking a bit more softly today than usually, just because I'm like pretty calm and it's the end of the day. So if you need me to adjust the volume, please let me know. If the game is overpowering me, I can make some adjustments. But I'll have to trust the folks who are watching to let me know if that's the case. Might be a little tricky since I'm not on camera, so if I am being overpowered, you won't be able to see me speak. Okay, so like that, and through here. There's a trap panel on the floor right in front of us. And this is the traps that will be triggered by that panel right over here. Okay, there's that. Oh, is this actually just putting us upstairs in the same spot? I can't tell. I think this is different, because I didn't see this route before. We're dealing with enemies that have a lot of health now. Oh, there's the spider summons I was mentioning. We gotta go run down this spider summoner. Oh. I must have stepped on a trap when walking through there, but I didn't see what it was or where it was. This spider summoner is very tricky to get past. Okay, either way, we're still heading upstairs. I think there are two forks in this room. So that's the way I walked previously. And there's this. This is not open from this side. Okay, got it. Right. One of these days I'll find an illusory wall. Then I'll be ready. Go through here, ignore you. I need to very quickly get out of the way of where that trap was, since I could not tell what spawned. And I'm going to open this door first thing, rather than addressing the immediate spider concerns. These spiders are likely to kill me, because there's a lot. But now I've got the shortcut open, so I can run that way faster. And avoid more stuff. No need for direct conflicts for a bit. Okay, so we're going to be up this ladder. Then rather than going through here, I can go through the door I recently opened here. Go for a couple item pickups, but I need to be very wary of the spiders that are coming in. Okay, I haven't seen what's over here yet. This is where the summoner's hanging out. Okay. The summoner actually has a lot of health at this point, and I believe this is the room that has the switch I need to progress. That's right, she summons 2 spiders at a time, which is extra rude. So over there is the switch I need to flip, and here we've got like one of these swordsman guys. He's also got a gun. So running down here is going to draw her spiders off, and I'm going to use that to come back up and get in some damage on her. I got killed by the spiders at the same time I took her out. Unfortunately, she respawns, so we have to kind of redo that. Yeah, it's cool. Don't worry about it, man. I don't think I'll be online on Saturday. I'm doing a Friendsgiving gathering with some buds. So do not expect me online at that time. It's after we have, I'll be handling a good bit of cooking for that day, so even after we've eaten, and I'm going to eat a bunch, I will be completely full and basically incapacitated is my game plan. If I'm anything less than incapacitated... What the... Man, they can jump. Also, I think I might have been going the wrong way. Yeah, I need to go forward through that door. Okay. I didn't need to turn off anyway. These spiders are nasty. Encountering an enemy in the Chalice dungeons that you haven't encountered in the main game is kind of a hint that you're throwing yourself at, like, the challenging end of stuff. That being said, to get any more upgrades, I'd have to progress pretty far in the main game. I can't meaningfully get much stronger. Okay, I see the red spiders. This is where I need to go. Yeah, that attack goes, like, really far out to the side. Ugh. Yeah, I'm just getting tagged when I think the spiders are, like, pretty far away, and that guy shot me to death. He's got, like, a shot-put launcher or a mini cannonball launcher or something. Ugh, I really hate this segment with these spiders. Just the summoner of the spiders is really nasty. Okay, I'm going to take it a little bit slower, and I'm going to try killing the 2 spiders that drop from the ceiling in the first room. And I said 2, but there are several, actually. The thing that I find most problematic about this is that the spider summoner starts summoning spiders when I am very far away. And she just keeps throwing them out there. Like, I have no idea what her limits are. And I also do have to worry about this guy possibly shooting me. Or hitting me with a sword, or various other things. I'm using the pillars to try and avoid taking damage, but then suddenly a spider is behind me. Okay, that'll do. I think there was still a regular spider around somewhere. Yep, there it is. Fire damage is pretty effective against spiders. With the fire paper, we 3-shot him. That's pretty handy. If he whiffs a shot, I think I can just run up and manipulate this. So if I unlock that and he kills me, that's fine. And that happened. There you go. I'm not too familiar with their sword patterns right now. Also, this enemy type with the greatsword, I believe, doesn't appear in the other portions of the regular game. It's an enemy that only shows up in the Chalice dungeons. Okay, so now that we've hit the switch, it was just over here that we need to go. And through here, we should be able to fight the boss. Do we have an offshoot here? No. Okay. This is just directly into a boss fight. It's another one of these. Another little gank fight. These guys will have higher stats now. Yeah, that's a very damaging shotgun blast. Oh, because I was rolling, that caused me to perform a transform attack instead of just transforming the weapon. Clock there a bit. Oh, that dodge went completely askew because I had locked on. That triggered a jump I absolutely didn't want to do. Yeah, the shotgun blast set me up to take that hit. That's a bummer. Okay, the Chieftain is the one with the shotgun. This is going to be really difficult to juggle around. Let's see. There's not much I can do to inflict more damage on these guys, either. Except for just getting counters or playing particularly well. I've got 3 Beast Blood Pellets. I don't really want to be spending them here. And I don't have a lot of spare blood vials. This fight appears to be very, very taxing on blood vials to try and manage. So I think I'm just going to pivot over to working on the Forbidden Woods, because progressing a main area will get me a lot more cold blood. Forward a bit, I can attack him for a while. I think my goal here is mostly just keep my distance from the Chieftain, so I don't have to deal with the shotgun while I'm fighting the others, and then it can be pretty much okay. Very bad dodge in. I've just spent some blood vials. Oh, I think I got caught by the shotgun there. Okay. This fight's going to be really, really tricky if I do not have an absolute excessive amount of blood vials. It's a lot to manage, and I'm very easily going to get clocked and lose half my health. So we're going to make our way out to the Forbidden Woods instead. The Forbidden Woods have a lot of items that will help us progress. And even just one blood chunk, which I think I can find in the Forbidden Woods, will get us another weapon upgrade. It can be very useful. Now, I did want to check also. Okay, we're still at plus 51. I'm not sure of the durability breakpoints that cause us to lose... I'm not sure what the durability breakpoints are that cause us to lose attack damage. I wanted to check on something too, though. Slow, rapid poison. Raised versus kin and raised versus beast. I forgot that was some attributes you can get. You can get bloodstones that make you do more damage to kin and beasts. Kin is a reference to kind of eldritch beings, star spawn, that kind of stuff. The only eldritch enemy type we have encountered thus far, I think we've encountered 2. I know that the squid-faced guys that we've seen 2 of, those are considered kin. I believe the squiggle monsters that were hanging out in the poison in the Nightmare Frontier, I think those are considered kin, as well as the amygdala. Not 100% on those, but I believe that's correct. Okay, so here we are back in the Forbidden Woods. I think I may have avoided a stretch of something else in the early part of the Forbidden Woods, so I might take a look back at that. Let's see. As I around here. No, okay, this is just the start of the Forbidden Woods. I missed that, that's for certain. Yeah, right, and we head down here. Okay, no, I did check back there, that's right, that's right. Blood vials. Excellent. Very nice. Take a couple extra slashes so that we can restore health. Kill him before we turn back to loot him. Usually, if they've got a gun, they're going to drop Quicksilver bullets. If they don't carry a gun and they've got a drop, it's usually a blood vial, which is super awesome, very important. Can't be missing those at this point. So the Forbidden Woods has a lot of path forks and things to investigate. And I'm going to try and be thorough and get a lot of that, mostly because I'm in pretty dire need of cold blood. Well, cold blood, warm blood, I mean blood in general. Really use that stuff. You know, the game being called Bloodborne and all. There's a better way to approach this. Oh, I didn't hit anybody with that transform? Okay, well, I've got that on me now. These villagers have a little combo going where some of them are throwing oil at you, and then others are throwing Molotovs. Some of them will try to prod you with torches, and that kind of thing. Yeah, the shield being carried by those guys is basically meaningless. It exists to make them, like, slightly more of a chore, and to continually remind you that shields are futile, and you shouldn't, like, even ask for one. Don't even worry about it. It does nothing. A lot of things where if we were going for a hitless run, we would be very sad, but we're not, so we're good. Get beast blood pellets, those are nice. Files. More thick cold blood. Very handy stuff. Okay, there's the village segment. That is, there's a lot of stuff going on in the village area. For now, I'd like to avoid getting too bogged down in there. There are a couple cases where we can talk to people.
Would you stop that? Every peep you make brings us bad luck. Please.
Yeah, there are no longer any people we can save in these areas. There is an occurrence that can let these dogs loose. So we are going to be taking those out before they can get out of their cage. Okay. I believe this cave is a secret route of sorts. I was looking for this earlier. A couple of antidotes. The antidotes are important because there's like a lot of poison in here, if I remember right. If this is the cave I'm thinking of. Yep, This is the one that's got a lot of poison and a couple big dudes and some other stuff. I believe I do want to make my way through here right about now, as opposed to leaving this for later. We don't need a torch while we're walking around here, that's fine. Should have antidotes at the ready. We want to avoid those. I don't know if those are leeches or snakes. Maybe they're leech snakes. Maybe they don't need to make a choice. Pop an antidote real quick, just to slow it all down. We can go along the edge here to avoid some poison progression. We need to make it out the other end, which I believe is over this way. Take a second antidote. Yeah, this should be the correct location because it's got an absurdly high ladder. This is the ladder of all ladders. I think this is the tallest ladder in Dark Souls, rivaled only perhaps by Metal Gear Solid 3's infamous Snake Eater ladder. I don't know why it was ever decided that we would be going up a ladder while... Oh, this is, you know, ladder round 2. I don't know why it was decided that we would be descending a ladder and they would play that big song. Like, how many other good set pieces could there have been in Metal Gear Solid? Like, there's so many other things that could have been. But you gotta be going up this ladder, and it's like, still in a dream, Snake Eater. Okay, so we're back at Yosefka's clinic after all that. And opening this gate will allow us to come back here into the back side of the clinic as much as we like. Now, when we were previously at the front side of Yosefka's clinic, we spoke with Yosefka through a door. But now that we're able to get back here, if we so choose, we can talk with Yosefka directly. She won't appreciate that very much. I'm going to have to take this guy out so I can use the ladder behind him without worrying. Almost had him with that. There we go. Shaman Bone Blade. I forget what that is. Is that like a hunter's tool? Like a handy-dandy something? Slash foes to make them lose their sense of direction. No, that's right. That's a consumable that inflicts some kind of weird, nasty debuff? I forget. More ladders, man. Gotta showcase these glorious ladders. Peak architecture. So we're on a rooftop, so there's crows. There are crows everywhere. Don't even worry about it. More crows. And I'm just going to head in right over here. So stepping into Yosefka's clinic gives us some insight, which is maybe something that should cause alarm. We can walk around here, get the Canehurst summons, an important item. Handwritten scroll. Seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. This is the starting area we were actually in. This is the very first room that we begin, which is why we start with this note. Seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. We've got this dude hanging out back here, which is maybe a little confusing. Ooh, excuse me. But as we roam around, perhaps looking for Yosefka proper, I believe there's a little dialogue that we can exchange with her. But I believe there were more items around here that I'm looking for. You can see she's experimenting on these things. The communion rune, I think, is a pretty useful one.
Moonlit scents. How did you worm your way in here? Very unfortunate. I had
high hopes for you. Well, I won't make any excuses. Would you mind leaving us alone?
So she's up there.
That won't change. You'll do the rescuing, and I'll do the saving. But if you refuse to leave, oh well. I've always wanted to try my hand on a hunter.
It's a delightful bit of dialogue. I do appreciate the delivery. If you pop all the way up there, you have a limited time to kind of take a look around, which I'm not going to test. But if you do pop up there, you can see that she is conducting an experiment on like a survivor, a human, a person. Which, you know, we could theoretically not take kindly to and try to kill her. But now is not the time. If we kill her now, she drops an item that's, you know, handy. But we can come back later after her experiments have borne some fruit. And starting at that time, she will drop a different, more valuable item. So we're going to be holding off for that. We'll come back and kill her later. But we did want to come up here to get the Canehurst summons. And I don't recall the effect of the Communion Rune. Lets us hold more vials. Just a better version of the previous Communion Rune we had. You can see that the symbol for it is kind of bolder. That happens a lot for these runes. Okay. So we need to get back to the Forbidden Woods and basically take another path. So I'm just going to go to our regular, like, central Yharnam lamp. It's pretty close to here, just up another fabulous ladder. So I'm just going to quickly take advantage of that to buy some more blood vials and go back to the Forbidden Woods. Always, always more blood vials. Never have enough. I guess I might as well repair my weapon too. Drink some more coffee. Excellent coffee. Right, I was repairing a weapon. You know what would be a good YouTube niche to get into? And it would be handy for me to, edit some videos and actually be good enough at video editing to do this. You could make a channel centered around challenge runs, around making games as hard as possible, and be the opposite of the Spiffing Brit, which is all about game exploits and breaking games over your knee. It's still in the same vein of breaking games over your knee, you're just taking a very, very different approach. That might be fun. And as the opposition to the Spiffing Brit, I would disdain tea and be all about coffee. It'd have to be the something American. I feel like it would be poor form to try and get into that without talking to him first. But he seems a very fun guy. Okay. So I'll be having to get up towards the village again, but I'm not going to be taking the same route. Oh yeah, the dodge on that guy's gunshot was just based on timing. That was just me dodging. That was not me reacting to the gunshot. That was me judging about how long it takes for those guys to fire a shot. Right, I forgot about those. It's a really good thing I was running. These loose boards are covering a pressure plate. That will totally kill you. So, way to not die. Quick dodge in between the swings. We're going to head over to the right this time, which is going to put us through a pretty different path, if I recall correctly. Nope, not quite. Can I make a leap? Oh, I fell. Hey, buddy, how are you doing? This is awkward. You'll have to excuse me for being embarrassed. Where is this going to put us? Ooh, Walking Nightmare. And, of course, crows. The fellow who designed the sound that these crows make is quite the mad lad. Like, good on you. Somebody might have objected along the way, but you didn't listen. Alright, this. I think this puts me in the village. The heart of the village, where I didn't want to be. Because somewhere in this village, and I don't recall quite the orientation, somewhere around here is a fellow with a cannon who will try to blast us with a cannon from across the whole dang place. And to avoid being hit by a cannon, we're going to stay inside buildings and just steadily work our way through and around buildings until we can get to the other side of the village. I think he's up that way, maybe. I don't know. Well, quite thankfully, I suppose, there are a lot of items in these houses. If I can remember where everything is, that'd be cool. Am I misremembering where the cannoneer is at? Okay, so this is the other angle I had approached from. Okay, so he's got to be at the clear other side of this place. Oh, no, I wasn't breaking down that door. I was just breaking some random object on the inside there. Well, anyway, there's a cannoneer around here somewhere. It might be later on. Maybe it is later on. If you try to strut about the place carelessly, you'll get cannoned. That's all that really... That's all I'm really trying to say. Yeah. A little stuck. So we coming around here with the dogs. So if you proceed straight along this direction instead of the other way around, I believe that gate closes shut and those dogs get released. I think that's triggered by a lookout NPC somewhere. I think probably that guy holding up the torch lowers the gate. So instead we take the long way around. Come up on here. Slaughter more crows. Gotten the white church items. Solid contrast on our on the black church items we acquired in the alleyway earlier. We'll slide back down here. Whoa, dogs. Top right off. Hey, buddy. Now, I don't recall if that guy is actually able to respawn or not. We'll head into here. Blue elixirs, which for us are basically just pocket cash, because we're not going to use a blue elixir at any point in time. They're mostly just a PvP item. Oh. Gotta be a little careful about this guy, but he should be the same strength as other main game snatchers. He should not be as strong as some of the ritual dungeon snatchers we've had to deal with. So we can kill him like we were doing in the central Pthumeru dungeon. Oh, not quite. He's got a little bit more health, by the looks of it. nice pocket of blood vials. That's kind of your pocket, congratulations, you reached a new area, blood vials. Now try to survive that new area. We get Beast Roar, which I believe is a hunter tool. It's like a usable item. It requires 15 arcane, which we don't have now and will never have. There are no items in the game that I'm aware of that give us a boost to our flat stats. So these various hunter tools we're never able to use. Hunter tools are basically spellcasts. They all just use item slots. They just juggle in your item management instead of being in like a dedicated spellcasting position or using any kind of spellcasting tool. But they require us to have like magical stats. They use Quicksilver bullets to go off as well. The fact that they use Quicksilver bullets also means you can fuel them with your blood, because you can make blood bullets as well. But we don't use those mechanics on BL4, pretty much. We're up along here. You really want to be taking the upper path through here, because a lot of the guys we're going to be going after right now will drop Molotovs on you if you're taking the low path. And I believe we'll want to check the low path in a bit to pick up some items. We also want to have Molotovs available on our bar, because very shortly we'll be heading down into kind of some oil pits and fighting some oil-soaked enemies that will be particularly vulnerable to being set on fire. They're like down over there. You can kind of see them. They're the same enemy type, I believe, as some guys who we fought in the sewers of Yharnam earlier. Okay, and I think we just wanted to clear this out. There's not really anywhere we can get to by running along these rooftops, I think. Well, it looks like I can drop down, but I might die. It's like technically possible, but not a good idea type of things. Is there no way down up here, over here? That isn't lethal. It looks like that's pretty much a no. Oh, there's got to be a way to fall off here. There we go. Lots of Molotovs. It's kind of prescriptive there. It's letting you know what's up. You can throw Molotovs at these guys for instant kills. You can see by the shimmer of the liquid down there that it's this big, long stretch of oil. You get kind of a weird, like, moany noise from things. Not only are these, Can I throw that far? Not quite. Oh, but it attracted her attention. She's still too far away. Ah, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. We're mostly throwing oil because we don't really want to deal with these things. It's not because they're particularly threatening. They're just a little hard to see. So I'm just checking for them by pressing the lock-on button a couple of times, and then we'll move on out of the oil. I've always wished that throwing oil flasks on people and setting people on fire was just a little bit more effective in Dungeons & Dragons, because it always seems to me like it's kind of clever combo play, but the baseline mechanics for the game doesn't reinforce that super well. You have to house rule some stuff to make it work out. I think the coolest way to play it, and a character concept I want to do at some point, is to play like a fire-oriented alchemist sorcerer type of character, who uses catapults to fling oil flasks at people. But like by raw, You can't, like, catapult an oil flask at somebody to soak them in the oil. I mean, just, like, the rules as they are written does not necessarily allow for that interaction, because the rules as written just don't cover that kind of circumstance. So there's two ways for the GM to take that. One is there's no written rule for it, therefore, like, you can't do that, especially because the wording on catapult seems to be suggesting a lot of things you can't do. And the other way of doing it is like, yeah, that sounds fun, just go for it. So you should work out with your GM whether they want to allow that before you make a decision on that one way or another. So this is the lane that has the cannoneer. Segment where I need to stick to houses and be a little careful, and the houses are like notably connected up in certain ways, or they provide shelter in various ways. That's the cannon. You can kind of see it on the right there. Let's see. I'll get to the next house from here. Yeah, it does take a while to fire. I think for that case, I just move up between shots. And then now it can't get a trajectory on me because I'm too close. There we go. It's not a big deal. It's like kind of a cool set piece. Take him out for more beast blood pellets. You can actually carry quite a lot of beast blood pellets, considering that they're pretty expensive. So I think the fact that you can carry a decent amount of them at all is pretty surprising. More twin blood shards. I need to be a little careful not to die around here, because you may have noticed I haven't opened up any kind of shortcut in a really long time. I think there's a shortcut really close around here, but I don't remember where it is, and I believe we've got some very dangerous enemies around, so I'm gonna have to try and remember that pretty soon. Yeah, that's right, that's right. This guy's pretty dangerous. He's got snake heads. Lots of them. He killed me in one shot. I am carrying 28,000 blood echoes. Yes, I can. Thank you very much. Enjoy your #1 status. Now that I'm subbable, I need to make sure I'm subbing to Curly TTV so we can trade. Unless he's subbed to somebody else. So I now have a really, really obnoxious amount of place to walk, distance to walk. I'm pretty sure that the spot I was at earlier, like, connects up to here or something, so that I can get a shortcut going. I was just short of getting to where that shortcut is. There's like a ladder somewhere. Or not a ladder, an elevator. So, oh right, I just triggered the maybe kill me trap. Thankfully it did not. So let's try and cut through all of this stuff as quickly as possible, back into the village. I'm gonna have to deal with some Molotov cocktails being thrown at me along the way. Yeah! Oh, this is the wrong way. Just wanted to stop to count the crows. 3 crows. This suits my purple face. Right, my face is covered by the armor. I gotta wear different armor so that I can occasionally show off the kind of derpy glory of this character. Took a little fall damage there, and I'm not in the mood to be hurt. That's the wrong way. Which way is the right way? Okay, so through here puts me into the oily area with these guys on the floor and the dudes throwing Molotovs, and yeah, they lunge. Very rude. Cool. Yeah, they lunge. Getting hit with a Molotov is pretty deadly, and I do have to deal with this cannon from scratch. But I think I can loosely just run this guy down. And I think most of the others will not come this far after me. Cool. So, I need to remember what's around here, possibly without bothering Mr. Snake Man for a while. Hello, shortcut. Oh, this is a different shortcut. Oh my. Okay. If it's not at the bottom of this place, let's check the top. How do I get higher up? I think I need to step outside to get higher up. No? Is this how I get around something? Gotta go high to go low. Gotta fall so we can get this ladder so that we can go back up. There are other spots that it look like you can drop to. There are little platforms. So we climb up this high, and I believe along these gears or somewhere that we can fall to is like the cannon. We just don't care about the cannon because we can never carry a cannon. We are a scrawny boy. Scrawny little waste of skin guy. We've got a turkey neck and everything. Oh yeah, this dude is a jerk. So this guy who can be seen over here kind of looting corpses and bodies, you can chat with him.
Don't scare me like that. On a night like this, I took you for a monster. Oh, thank the stars, you're fairly normal. Was it you who put down that awful beast?
You'll have to be much
He had
more
me
specific.
trembling, frozen in my boots. And then you came along. Well, if you're a
I
hunter,
did have a good time.
then
The turkey came out great.
you know of any
I got to
safe
have
havens?
some of them nice, we're going to send this guy to Yosefka's because he will
It's about
kill
time
other
you give me
survivors.
hope. Take this. Thank you. I can't.
Yeah, so I had a good time. We got into like some nice traditional Puerto Rican desserts too. They had some flan, some rice pudding. The flan was like apparently some kind of a family recipe. They actually made it with cream cheese, which is unusual for a flan. But it was quite good. It has like a very different texture, less like gelatinous. I was trying to place what the texture was more like, but I can't really think to place it. But it was nice. It was good. I had a bit of that. Definitely had a bit of that. Yeah, there's the cannon, for all that's worth for us. I'm trying to remember where we want to go from here. I don't... Okay, because this is where I was earlier, and then I dropped down, and then I climbed up. Is it that I'm not supposed to climb up and I get somewhere new? So, let's see. So over here, I like killed a guy. There's like maybe a spot I can stand over here to look out at a whole lot of... oh, I guess you can actually see Brykenworth from here. Huh. The moon isn't out yet, which means the waters are still safe. Once the moon comes out, people disappear. Yeah, I would say it was maybe closer to a stiff pudding. Like... normally, like, flan is that very, very much that kind of just jello texture with like a little bit of it was a little closer to a cheesecake, a little bit, but maybe like a no-bake cheesecake, because it didn't have that like baked, fluffed up aspect that a baked cheesecake does. But it still had that very like caramelly flavor. And rice pudding, or arroz con dulce, the stuff you can buy in stores, just like, I think it's flavorless. But my grandmother can make it come out quite nicely, and I, last time I tried, couldn't really make a satisfying dish of that. Okay, so, I'm just gonna come back out here so I can loot this guy, because looking at him's bugging me. Pretty sure I'm gonna have to fight Snake Man McGee. I'm forgetting how to progress through here. I'm presuming it's in the lower area that I need to go. Somewhere around there. Like, there's got to be some exit from the lower floors here that I didn't already check. Oh, I didn't check this way, did I? Nope. That looks like I did not. Oh, right. Now we just fight Snake Men on the regular, so... let me try to get my souls back first. Is that guy following me? No? Okay, cool. I can sneak up on this guy. Just let me chain that out, which is very nice of him. But he fell in a way that I cannot loot. There we go. Just some clutter. Okay. Okay, I want to look around. I gotta look around here a little more. I gotta figure out what I'm missing. So, this is really not operable? Come on. Because I thought this elevator led up to the earlier area I was at. And I could just use that to go back. I really could have sworn this is where a shortcut is. But yeah, as for the rest of the dinner, the turkey was very good. It's nice and moist. But we didn't have like a gravy or a cranberry sauce. I felt that the evening was missing like a good potato dish. Let's see. There were some nice deviled eggs. There's some rice because we're Puerto Rican. You can't have a meal without rice. There was a potato salad that was okay, but I felt that it was like overall. I think how to put it. It was maybe like a little more sour than I like potato salad. I like a potato salad that's a bit more savory. Whether you get like some ham in there or something. There was also a pasta salad, and I think having potato salad and pasta salad both available, that's like a no-no to me. I don't care for that. Right. Various snake strikes. Those guys go down really easily if I use fire paper. Well, mostly easily. They're still super freaking dangerous. I have to watch out because this area's got several of those guys. And okay, this is the elevator that goes to the other spot that I was thinking of. This is the shortcut. Here we go. Yeah, I was really missing some good mashed potatoes. I was even talking to my dad in the car on the way back about recipes. I was carpooling with him to get out there. Okay, so we just got to open this up. There we go. I'll have a chat with this fellow.
Ah, a new face, are you? And an accomplished hunter, it would appear. I am Volta, master of the League. Members of the League cleanse the streets of all that, like any half. Haven't you seen enough of these wretched beasts? Free, sentence these fiends to death. What do you say?
I believe these are the equivalent of Sunbros.
Commit the start. The night brims with defiled skull. Just think. Now you hunt in cooperation.
Yeah, we can accept membership to that. It doesn't mean anything one way or another. I'm going to take a trip back to the Hunter's Dream to spend these 36,000 blood echoes. Oh yeah, like proper brown butter, I think is a little bit of a chore to make it without like smoking off the butter or burning something. You just gotta have it at just the right temperature for a decent amount of time. It's patience more than work. Patience. Of course, patience is a cheat code in cooking. Alright, so I want to stock up on fire paper. We're gonna... Oh, I can only stock up on about 8 fire paper, so that's what we'll get. Oh man, I'm always taken aback by how expensive consumables are in Bloodborne, especially because consumables are incredibly important in Bloodborne. We'll throw on a little bit of repairs, just the standard maintenance. And I'm going to check and see if my blood gems are any better. I have a Tempering Damp, a blood gem, at level 4, which the only reason it's giving slightly lower physical attack is because it's got a stamina cost reduction effect as well. Adept, Cold. Yeah, Cold gives you an arcane scaling buff. Yeah, it's got a cold scaling buff, a flat physical attack addition, and weapon durability up. Sometimes the effects you have available on weapons are really fancy, and it doesn't matter because, like, you get these first order optimal things. It's just like higher physical attack percentage. Like, it's pretty much exactly what we're going to swap this out for. Higher physical attack percentage. Go! I have not found a better crescent-shaped tempering blood, so we're going to go with that. It's the... well, I think of it as crescent, but it is the waning shape. It's like moon-oriented. That's true, that's true. Yeah, you gotta whisk it like a fiend. It's another trick, another cooking trick in general. Whisk it like a fiend. That's how you get the best gravies as well. You have to whisk it really actively to prevent any lumps. Of course, I suppose the practice of making gravy and the practice of browning butter are basically the same endeavor. Back to the Forbidden Woods, we can use the shortcut, and we'll be exploring the second half now. I believe the second half of the Forbidden Woods is maybe when we start to see bloodstone chunks. Apart from a couple bloodstone chunks that can drop in a few places in the Nightmare Frontier, which we have access to through, like, the intentional sequence break that led us to fight the amygdala. The crows are upset with us for heading on our own way and kind of ignoring them. Getting a little peckish. I'll play for a bit longer, and then I'm going to take a break for a slice of pie. There are a few different ways of trying to navigate through this next segment. From what I remember, there are quite a few scattered items, some of which will require you to go into pretty risky areas. Hence, that's exactly the reason why I wanted to go back and spend my blood echoes, because I'm gonna take some death runs to get stuff. Hey, buddy. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm just gonna fall down here. Oh, you followed me. We've got a lot of these, like, snake pile enemies. I don't know how the snake piles and snake people fit into the lore. Like, I understand roughly what's going on with the beasts and the kin. Like, you've got kind of two permutations on like a loss of humanity, where you've got people falling to beastliness or like ascending to unite with an eldritch consciousness, becoming like alien creatures. Oh yeah, we also have these like super snake piles that are really, really dangerous. If I remember, well, they're really dangerous unless you get behind them, if I remember right. I think if you get behind them, you can kind of make a chump out of them. A lot of these are within the realm of, like, I could certainly plan to try fighting them and, like, deal with them, but why? Uh-oh, I slipped. That's fine. That's true, that's true. Yeah, yeah. You're just whisking to kind of prevent something from settling too long in too much heat. You're actively cooling something and heating it at the same time to hit that beautiful median. And you're also ensuring the incorporation of any solids. The thing about browning butter when you're doing that is when you bring butter up under gradual heat, the milk fats will naturally separate out from the butter. And the milk fats cook at a different rate. That's the part that you're actually browning, is the milk fat. Whisking keeps that milk fat incorporated with the butter instead of clumping. Whereas the other thing you can do, if you just let it separate out, that's how you get clarified butter. You just let the milk fats separate, and the stuff that's left, minus the milk fat, is clarified butter, which is very useful. Clarified butter has a much, much higher smoke point than butter, because the part of the butter that, like, smokes and burns is the milk fat part. So once you, like, get rid of that... Oh, I got tangled up and died. I was trying to slip between into this spot. I didn't get there quite right. The snakes are dangerous. I was recounting for my dad on the trip, because I'm always looking for ways to relate my hobbies to people. We're driving through the West Virginia countryside, and it looks lovely out there. It's very, like, there's so much nature. You see these rolling hills and like trees on either sides of things, and we're through fall now, so the trees are pretty much bare. But I still think, you know, bare trees along the side of the road as you're driving along look lovely. They produce a certain atmosphere. That, I mean, it just relates to all the thoughts of winter and comfort. And that all comes together. But I strike up a conversation with him about, like, you know what's funny is when you get used to playing Dungeons and Dragons, or especially when you get used to playing some of, like, the modern fantasy games, like a World of Darkness or something like that, it makes you look at certain sceneries differently. Like, you drive past businesses in these rural areas, and you think about them in terms of how they would map out into an encounter, and what's interesting about some bits of terrain that you're looking at, or the features you would need to remember to include if you wanted to describe a scene and like get into that with people. Because we were driving past like a place that was advertising excavations or some kind of like quarrying site, and I was thinking, well, my thought process for that drops into like, okay, at this excavation site they've uncovered some like old eldritch artifact, and it's going to be fought over by a mage and a bunch of vampires. Like, how does that shake out? How do you set the scene? So it's just those funny thought processes that you get into recounting that for somebody who like may not, who is not in that mindset. It's just a funny thing to get into. It's like, oh yeah, hey, this is a funny thing that happens when you play a lot of D&D. Whoops. That's right, that's a shortcut I get to open a little later. Okay, I think I've gone through a lot of the important areas. Yeah, as I said with these guys, if you can get behind them, you can just tear them up. And go figure, being snakes, they can help drop like poisonous blood gemstones. I am so disoriented right now. Okay, I think that's back towards the beginning of the area. You know, there's an item. Let me just grab that. Excuse me, snakes. I'm just gonna grab that. So, part of the way I remember navigating this zone is that, okay, there's like this tree underpass, which is like a halfway point. And I think I just approached this from the wrong side. So, this is actually the way I'm supposed to be going. So I think I could keep going down there, but I haven't been up here. Because it's like pigs and stuff. And I don't necessarily want to interact with the pigs. Snakes, snakes, more snakes. Lots of snakes. Yeah, we move along this elevated side here to avoid getting in the muck with the pigs. Oh, I missed something. And then we have this part where there are like the fireflies. And I think I can go around up here. Ouch. Totally got me. Just move right along. I believe this is the other shortcut. Yep, because this connects us to the windmill area. So the fastest way to access this shortcut is annoying, if I remember right, because you need to, to access this, you use the other shortcut, then you turn back into the windmill, then use this one. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think that there's some place for a sequel to Jurassic Park in that, what's it called? You begin with the man versus nature, and that trope is a good one to communicate, and I would say that is the core story, or the core storyline that you're seeking to tell in Jurassic Park. And doing one sequel where you bring it back to man versus man, and you, like, instead capture the theme of man's exploitation of nature is a kind of evil, I think there's room for like one story like that, but when you tell that story again, then you're just milking the IP. But yeah, thinking about the theming of things is something very different. So the family that I got to see again, that I had not seen in forever, I was super happy to see because I have one older cousin who is as nerdy as I am. And it was so great, as I haven't seen him in 10 years, because being an introverted nerd, he doesn't come along to any family gatherings. And I have also not come along to too many family gatherings. So that is compounded in me not seeing him for at least, 15 years or something silly. I seriously haven't seen him since I was a teenager. But he is the only other, he has previously been the only other family member I could actually talk about anime with. He's literally the only family member I have who watches anime. Until now, oh, I accidentally emoted. Because I was over there hanging out, and now I also have nieces and nephews who watch anime, apparently. So that was pretty cool. And like one of my cousins, two of my cousins are dating people who are like gamers who could talk about D&D. So I actually got to have a conversation with like other family members about D&D stuff. And they're like out in West Virginia. So they're like, yeah, I really want to play D&D, but I've got, I can't find a GM. I don't know anybody who would do it. And I got to be like, oh yeah, I'm actually running a campaign, and we're like doing this kind of thing and hitting these kinds of themes. Okay, so I think I went all the way back there just to get the arcane gemstone, because it's actually one of the first accessible things in the game that lets you convert damage to arcane. Oh, that's absolutely true. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and really, when we're talking Jurassic Park specifically as well, like the entire narrative role of the dinosaurs is to express nature in an ultimate primal form. And so, you know, if the dinosaurs become subverted by the humans becoming the primary antagonist, um, that in turn does subvert the entire theme of the first movie, which is supposed to be that, like, man is not able to control this. So it's, like, tricky but possible to get through these routes and avoid that pig fight, which I prefer to do because that pig fight's kind of annoying. But then you can come back over here and fight the pigs here, because they will have a tendency to run into and fall on these fires that hurt them. And they won't use their charging trample attack also because of the fires. And the charging trample attack is the most dangerous thing the most dangerous thing the pigs do. They also have a like a horse kick where they'll like rear up and kick ya. Which is why I don't stand behind them too much. Yeah, that's definitely true. Okay, I believe I run up this way first, because this lets me open the gate. So now I have a shortcut back to this point, which I'm going to need, because coming up very shortly is a really tough boss. I think one of the major possible points of frustration with Dark Souls if you don't know how to open the shortcuts and where the shortcuts are before you run into a boss, you can have a super unfun time with the game. Here we go. Yep, the Shadows of Yharnam. So, we've got a trio fight here. Oh, what's it called? I was trying to transform out after a roll there, which triggered the transform attack, instead of passively transforming my weapon. Oops. I have done that several times. It keeps happening. Just firing off a quick message between things, and I accidentally hit L2 when I sat back down. So I believe that I can take just this shortcut, and it should be okay. I was also telling a few family members or friends of family about the LARP. So maybe I'll be able to drag somebody over for that. It's not, it is definitely a drive for them, but it should be probably about a 3-hour drive if any of them want to attend, because it was about 2 hours, maybe 2.5, to get to Leesburg. Depending on traffic, it's somewhere between half an hour or 45 minutes to get from Leesburg to the Prince William Forest Park. I need to remember how to take the correct fall to get over to where I need to be. Okay, it's further over that way. Maybe I do need to use both shortcuts. This boss run can be annoying. Run past a lot of snakes. It's kind of a lot of snakes. Oh, I'm actually stuck on that, so okay, that's very strange. Okay, so not this way, for sure. Huh. I am proceeding along this at such a clip that some of the objects had not loaded in yet. Okay, it should be down here. This is the spot I need to drop to. Because here is where we've got the gate open. So I can definitely make this run and use these shortcuts and not fight anything. The trick is going to be, I don't think I can make that run a whole lot shorter. Well, no, because if I take the elevator down, it's like right at the other side, right? I might still need to go through the swamp pit or past the pigs. I should probably try just not dying. This fight is really tricky, though. Not only are we managing 3 enemies, these enemies all have multiple phases that can be triggered independently, if I remember correctly. No, that's right. Any one of them can trigger the phase change, but I think going into the phase change makes them all nastier. So we have to measure the benefits of killing off one of them against the detriment of empowering the other 2. Like most multi-fights, we mostly want to play this unlocked. phasing. They're all phasing. This is effectively phase 2 for all of these guys. I believe they can phase 3. I'm trying to remember how it works. But now they've got, like, weird snake reach stuff going on. They can do, like, snaky attacks. They can spring up attacks from the floor. Yeah, that, like, that little fire slash there, little long-reaching. Now, I think with one of them being dead, they might get angrier. The Pyromancer is going to be doing some more dangerous stuff. Our saving grace for this fight is pressuring them, because they don't have a lot of poise or anything like that. I'm managing my stamina a bit. There we go. That's the Shadows of Yharnam. We were able to get them separated pretty soundly. Like, that little dedicated beatdown I laid on the swordsman was very nice. It's really difficult to get that much quality time with a couple of them. Oh yeah, Arcane is so good. Wow, 100%. You know, oh man, that's really glad to hear that, but yeah, everything about that series is so good. I've been recommending it to everybody. There was a meme I saw on Facebook. You know the meme where there's like the horse drawing that's segmented, where some parts of the horse look amazing and some parts of the horse look poorly drawn, and it kind of shows like lines splitting, the lines that are splitting up the horse and how well the horse is drawn are mapped onto the lines of the parts of a game or something like that. So it'll be like the first half of X, and it's like this amazingly well-drawn horse. And it's like the second part of X, and it's a children's drawing. Well, the meme regarding Arcane was it's got the 3 parts of Arcane segmenting the horse, but the entire horse is incredible. Yes, I think that's right. I think you're right about that. Yeah. It's the Game of Thrones meme, but every part of the horse is amazing. 5 of those, which puts us to a stock of 18 fire paper. We've got 11 bolt paper, and we've got 46 blood vials, which is okay. I'm going to buy 1 bolt paper, and then the rest is just blood vials. Okay, with that boss taken out, our next boss in terms of standard story would be Rom the Vacuous Spider. So I need to do a quick check. I set down the controller, so I pressed a button. So that's kind of how it works. Yeah, like, in terms of the length, are you saying that you want more? Is that the problem? Or is it maybe a little long? Because, like, I can't think of, like, really any wasted time or wasted scenes, which is hard. Yeah, right? Oh, man. Yeah, I just want more. Let's see, so... Bloodborne pre-ROM checklist. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, here we go. Things to do before ROM. Okay, that is a really lame thing. That's not a real checklist. Okay, here's a Reddit list. It's probably good if it's on the Bloodborne Reddit. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, DLC after Mikolash makes sense. Yeah, we don't need to go for the DLC. You think so? That might. I mean, no, I think it's still going to be in Piltover, because we still haven't seen the full realization of either Echo or Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, Bilgewater is being pretty thoroughly explored by Ruined King, which is out now. I was thinking about picking that up. Okay, here's a full to-do list. Let me see. You can do this. Bloodstarved Beast, Chalice, Vicar Amelia. Tell people about this, that, Hypogean Gowl. Okay, that is important. I have to go back and interact with an NPC in a specific way. Otherwise, one of my NPCs will kill a more important NPC. Do that. Do that. Send him to clinic. Get the Canehurst summons. Okay, yeah, wait for after Rom. Get that item. Okay, then you go after Rom. Got it, got it, got it. That's true. I mean, Shurima is so heavily rewritten. I'm not really up on that lore at all. Like, I think Shurima maybe got the most drastic reworks of anything. Ionia did get a good bit changed around as well, and I'm not super familiar with Ionia, but I think I get the flavor they're going for. I mean, it's very much about Oriental monks and ninjas type of thing. Okay, so I need to go back to the Cathedral Ward. That's true. That's true. It's still very close. I think they just shifted a few more characters to be Ionian. They also shifted a couple characters to be like Noxian, or something. I mean, I was very weirded out that like Riven and a lot of the Riven support cards turned out to be Noxian cards instead of Ionian cards in the card game. And I think that's because Riven is from like a conquered portion of Ionia or something. I don't know. I could have sworn Riven was Ionian previously. Oh, so the thing I have to do back here, previously I received the blood transfusion from Ariana here. Ariana's an important character, but I also saved a character back over here who is less important. If you kill Rom, having taken Ariana's blood transfusion and not having taken this character's transfusion, this character will kill Ariana out of jealousy. So we need to get her blood blood treatment, and acquire the blood of Adela. We need to have the blood of Adela in our inventory when we fight Rom to prevent Ariana from dying at the wrong time.
There you are. You're early, dear. Is anything the matter? You can always tell me. Mother will make everything better.
This woman has gone distinctly crazy at this point. Yeah, we've still gone through all the dialogue for him. I believe we've gone through all the dialogue for this fellow over here as well.
Once the night of the hunt, give it a thought.
Yeah, so we've got all this dialogue. Okay, now we can head over and do Bragenworth and kill Rom. That's true. Yeah, those were exactly the characters I was thinking of. Like, Echo doesn't have the Z drive, so his character's not done. Victor isn't done because he's not done. Yes, I did see the Warwick foreshadowing. I mean, the very obvious Warwick foreshadowing. I think Warwick was lightly foreshadowed in that we all kind of know he's a Zaunite character and he should show up. And they were doing some stuff that was kind of subtle to cue him up. But they had him much more on display in the 9th episode. But yeah, we have not yet seen the fully realized Singed, although we can definitely catch around the 9th episode that he's kind of mutating. Yeah. I mean, when Xander first comes on screen, they like give a nod and it's like, ah, you're the Hound of the Underground. That's the first clue. And it only becomes more from there. But yeah, after that theory hit the table, yup. People scraped through Warwick's voice interactions and lines, and Warwick has some interactions with Vi that are actually pretty telling. Some of his lines to Vi in the game include, "Who taught you how to punch?" And he says something, I don't know if it's when talking to Vi or Jinx, I don't remember, but he's like, the memories, I can't remember. And the thing is, those lines, I don't think those interactions are part of a new update. I think that's been in the game for a long time without anybody noticing that Warwick has a history with Vi and Jinx. That is like only now people get to know and see it acknowledged. It was such a great unexpected thing to come out of Arcane. But yeah, we need to see Zillion get the Z drive. We need to see Victor getting into his glorious evolution. Now, the thing I'm not aware of with Echo's Z drive, I know he starts getting into time manipulation. I don't know if he gets there after meeting Zillion. Because their characters have a noteworthy relationship. They being the only time manipulators you can access in the game that I'm aware of. They have a lot of interactions in the card game. Yeah. I really like they've tied together Zaun kind of with a bow, like gotten it all together. The nation of Zaun. Part of me was thinking that Silco would be a character they would introduce in the game, and then even as far as Silco being dead and some of Silco's theming, I was thinking to myself when he was dead, like, how much do I know about Pike? Because Pike is a zombie. So, like, But I don't know enough about Pike's origin to make a definitive tie-in there. But I was noticing that, let's see, in Silco's setup, and, like, the way he's story told, I should be using bold paper for this theoretically, but I didn't have it. Water is a huge motif for Silco. Oh, he got me with a grab. I was trying so hard to avoid the grab. Oh, it's not lethal. Completely thought that would kill me. So yeah, watching Arcane really did make me think, man, I want to sit down and play Ruined King. And I've been avoiding clips of Ruined King, because other people are playing it, of course. It's not like I need to make them stop. Flies. Gotta watch out for these guys. I think these guys are actual star spawn. I don't know. Very strange looking goons. I'm killing this one the slow way. If I remember correctly, he takes a lot more damage to his face, like everything else in Bloodborne. I just didn't want to take risks in it. Because I wanted to explore around this area a bit. There's like one more bugman over there, if I happen to trigger him, which I'd rather not. And I wanted to open this so I don't have to go around the back again. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like they've got a really good distinctive flavor set up for a lot of their regions. So I'd absolutely love to explore them. And what's it called? I was glad to see them bring in the head of the Medarda in Arcane, because I know from the card game that the Medarda are so big, such a big deal. But I wasn't like entirely aware of why. Like, I was not super up on that lore or like what was going on exactly. But they showed up. She showed up and she was hanging out. I'm like, oh, that's right. The Medardas are super Noxian, and there's a ton of cards related to their clan and featuring their people. Even the ship she showed up on is a card. It's a big. It's like one of the finishers for Crowman, Crow Tactician dude. I forget what character that is. I think it starts with an S. What the heck is his name? It's not Silas. He's gonna bother me. Bother the heck out of me until I can remember. Excuse me, ma'am. I am trying to open chests, and you appear to be trying to beat me with Eldritch Tentacles and, like, Holy Mist. Swain! It's Swain. Apologies if you put that in the chat. Yeah. I couldn't even read the chat while I'm trying to evade this gal who's trying to run me down. But yes, the ship that the Medarda showed up on is like one of the finishing blow centerpieces in a Swain control deck. I forget the favorite pairing that you use for that. I mean, I think there's a few options because the card game's like nicely flexible in terms of who you're playing with. If I remember correctly, I think you can play that. There's a Noxus Bilgewater setup for that. I think there might be a Noxus Freljord setup for that. That's pretty good. Because you can play it with Plunder. Since Plunder decks reward you for getting a lot of small snipes on the enemy like health total, and Swain likes to do that too. Yeah, I gotta watch out for that. There's a Noxus Shurima combo that's very fun to play. because there is a mechanic that is used in both regions a little bit called Renown that triggers by attacking with things that have 5 power. The characters who run that best are Sivir and LeBlanc, but there are various Noxian characters that can also make that happen. You can pair, you can do a solid Noxus Freljord setup that also uses that like 5 power mechanic. That was kind of the original deck that existed. It was like the 5 power Noxus plus Freljord, and then they like also released support for that archetype in Shurima, so you can run it with Shurima instead. That, I think, is lethal if it directly hits me. Gotta watch out for that. Oh, that's locked. Great. The key to that is around here somewhere. I think I need to get upstairs without getting murdered. Oh, they released new single-player content in the card game. I was thinking about checking that out tonight instead of doing this, but I decided on doing this. But I might still be doing that for part of tomorrow. I think it's a fun mode, but I don't think it's necessarily great streaming content because I don't think it's that hard. Oh, yeah. I've seen some clips of it. I know that they've got, like, fully voiced, like, interludes with the characters and, like, animations to boot. Like, the production value with these guys is off the charts, man. I'm into it. Come on. No! I'd like to take this gal out so I can run around here without trouble. I think there's a ladder I need to climb to get the key that's important to finish this up. Is it only the Piltover crew so far, or is it only the Piltover crew that has, like, voice-acted segments? Because the one that I was seeing the clips of before was for Jinx, so yeah. That tracks. I was surprised in the in Arcane, and I wasn't like certain that this was canonical. That they were like pushing a relationship overtone between Vi and Caitlyn. Ew, eyeballs. And I'm expecting them to expand on that a bit as the series continues, or like acknowledge it more forcefully, because it was definitely said it. They definitely were handling in that were handling it in that kind of like not confirmed state. Focusing on this fight for a moment, and I lost. Yeah. I know they've always. I know that is like the definite ending is that they will be, partners on the police force effectively. but I had never seen anything officially pronouncing a romance between the two. But Arcane was super leaning into it. Like, okay, yeah, they're going this route, and I'm for it because, like, people need representation, man. But okay, I'm gonna try what I did just now, but with fire paper active. There we go. Don't stand up. I don't appreciate that. Yeah, handling certain fights like that has definitely made me feel like a no-guns run is a good idea for a better challenge. Because there are a lot of enemies that you can just body out by just shoving a gun in their face between your combos. I did that in a big way for the Pthumerian Descendant and the last Chalice Dungeon boss that I took out. I was like, yeah, I can fight this by like dodging carefully and getting behind stuff, or I can shoot him every time he moves and he can't kill me because I have enough bullets to do that. Oh, I accidentally did a gesture to point down. I do think it's pretty cool that you can trigger gestures by like hanging out on the buttons on the controller. You just hold X and do like a gesture, and like you can make your character sit down. Yeah, I finally realized to myself what the best way of phrasing how Bloodborne differs from Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, the boss sets the pace, and you follow along with that pace. Whatever the boss wants to do, you respond to that, and you do whatever that is. But in Bloodborne, you can set the pace on the boss, and you have to. So we've got this fellow here. Just talking to him gives us some insight. This is the fellow that we saw in the memory when we touched the skull back in the chapel after beating, what's her name? Amelia. Also, this dude is like, corrupt as all sin. He kind of deserves this. He's like turning into fungi. You kind of see based on the stuff sprouting off his back. And killing him nets us, I believe, an extra rune or something. Yeah. We get the Eye rune, which I think is actually handy. Let's see. We got the Clear Deep Sea earlier, which is slow poison resistance. We've got Dissipating Lake for lightning damage reduction. That was in the woods. That's right. Eye gives us more items from enemies, which is very handy. Yes, we can't equip these. We can discard them if we wanted to. So I could go back and spend these 10,000 blood echoes, but I'm just going to risk it for the biscuit and fight the boss. This area and this segment encouraged me to make like a full story arc in a LARP. And if my players are watching, then kudos to them. They get to understand a bit of my design process for, you know, watching my stream. Oh, right, his head is actually not the weak point. Oops. Okay. I forgot that, and I pay for it by dealing with a lot of spiders. So Rom the Vacuous Spider, our big boy here in the middle, isn't really the boss for a while. The boss is all these little skittery dudes that we do have to watch out for a bit. Killing them is kind of meaningless, except for the fact that it makes it safer for us to attack the main body. When we get to the later phases, he starts being able to cast spells, and that can be troublesome. I actually got killed there by one of their jumps. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, you'd have to have a leveled up character to some extent, so that you could you know, wield each of the weapons you're being handed. Okay, thankfully the run for this boss is really short. Now, I think that if we want to go extra ham on the boss, we want to use bolt paper. And I've got some, so I'm going to think about that. This is definitely one of those bosses where hammering through his health bar before he has a meaningful phase change is a really solid plan. I'm going to fight him like maybe 2 more times without using many items to remember a bit about how his phase shifts can work. Okay, now that we've triggered the fight with him once, he will get the spiders immediately on any subsequent attempts, which is a bummer, because we can get killed very easily by these spider leap attacks. I'm going to check real quick. So I think the spiders inflict a thrusting damage type. I don't have anything that's good against thrusting damage. Yeah, they do have stat requirements. Sometimes pretty significant ones. Shoot, I can't really get much more defense here. Not even like flat physical defense in a better way. Well, I'm gonna change the hat anyway, so that I can look at my character's face and his weird, weird purple bug-eyed glory. Oh, you know what? I can change the main clothing. Gascoigne's garb actually has reduced physical defense compared to some other things. It has reduced physical defense, but like notably better blunt resistance. And I'm not sure if these guys are dealing physical damage or thrust damage. So this one keeps my physical defense the same, but increases my thrust resistance. So we'll go for that. Yeah, the stat requirements can be pretty serious on a few of these. Because there's the, let's see, the Kirk Hammer and I think it's the Holy Blade. I think it's like Ludwig's Holy Blade or something. Have pretty noteworthy strength requirements. You've got a slight strength requirement on the Switch Axe, or the Trick Axe. there's a few different things that have, like, arcane requirements. Oh, that attack didn't kill me. That's nice. These guys have a few different styles of leaping attacks and things like that. The attacks from the individual adds with Rom have a lot of delay. So sometimes these guys will cooperate in being killed en masse, which is nice. If you have to attack them in the face, they're more resistant, but lightning is very effective against them. So Rom's teleport just, like, completely abducted us into taking that attack from a spider. Very weird properties on how that happens. But that is a thing. I got absolutely yoinked. This fight is the sort of thing that I think of as being kind of annoying rather than legitimately hard. Because whether or not you can beat the boss, you certainly can. Like, but how patient are you? Because to beat the boss super well, you're going to have to out all these spiders. And man, is that not time consuming. Very time consuming. And every time he teleports, he's going to resummon these guys. So you can kill all the spiders to get off some attacks. And this is like early in the fight, where he doesn't do anything himself. Later in the fight, this guy's going to be casting spells. I'm going to try and push some big damage on him. That's a burst attack, and I got killed by a spider. Yeah, so if we use both of those items to make him, to do the first phase thing, yeah, that's not wrong. Well, the thing is, I can do a solid area attack, just by unfolding the axe and performing, like, this attack. But there's a couple caveats on that. So, if I wanted to do the fight straight up, I can kind of just use consumables when I can eliminate all the spiders, use consumables, and then hammer off half his life total, and then eliminate the spiders and do the same thing again. Problem is, the second time I'm eliminating the spiders, he's going to be throwing in magic, like that burst attack he used right there. What I'm going to do instead, to make this easier on myself, is I'm going to fiddle with my blood gems and shift myself over to lightning damage, which will mean that I don't need to use, oh, dang it. Alright, I'm going to play for a bit with this plugged in. Are you back? Wake up, controller. Yeah, 'cause this is charge only. I can't run it off. Oh, no, it just disconnected. I, like, just jolted slightly away. Okay, I'm going to plug this in, and I'm going to take a quick break for pumpkin pie, and I'm going to see if this charges up enough during the quick break that I can make a couple more attempts on the boss. And if it continues to be fussy, then I'm going to switch gears and play a different game for a while. I definitely neglected the fact that I had the console turned off, and while the console's off, the controller can't charge. Yeah, the PS4 is kind of annoyingly built with like an always-on functionality in mind, where the console normally it just like rests if you shut it off. Ooh, they packaged up some flan for me too. I'm gonna destroy this. Let's see, I cleaned up some forks earlier. Oh, so the solo adventures you've been playing in Legends of Runeterra, do they get like decently challenging if you keep going at them? Like, do they have extra challenge modes or anything, or are they just like kind of simplish? Because when I was playing them earlier, I was like, this is fun, but I got overpowered pretty quick. I think the real benefit of the design in the single-player adventures in Hearthstone, like, the things they match you up against in the later fights are, like, really tilted in very specific ways, and you need to be pretty strategic about overcoming them. But I didn't necessarily feel that when playing some of the earlier single-player adventures in League of Legends, or Legends of Runeterra. Thankfully, though, their stuff is like really good from a lore perspective. Lots of lines from the characters, cool stuff with that. And honestly, like, champion cards in Runeterra are just more fun to play with. Okay, so you can scale up the difficulty, you can level up your hero, so that kind of matches up. That's neat. I may want to groove on that then. I also caught on that Ruined King has various difficulty levels as well. You know, I think it's like loosely kind of CRPG oriented, but with some kind of turn-based combat system. I don't know. The combat system itself is not like top-down CRPG, but I think the exploration is. Honestly, I haven't looked at much about the game. I think I'm just going to buy it anyway. That's good. It's got to have unfair powers. I remember I was playing one before. You get up to a point where you fight Ash, and she like starts with the Scar Grounds, and it gets really nasty. Wow. Was he just like creating barrels all the time? Gangplank's mechanic is pretty cool. Oh. Oh, that's nasty. I'm trying to remember exactly what the Dreadway does. I just remember it's like a big beefy like 8-cost card or something. Oh. Oh, I haven't seen that card before. The one that kills all your barrels and makes more. Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, so he quadrupled his damage and then invented a ton of barrels. That's hilarious. That's right. That's right. Yeah, the Dreadway is double all damage done. The Freljord boat is when you play it with a plunder trigger, you like double the power toughness of things in your deck. I think Misfortune's boat just had a really powerful support effect, or it had Scout. I don't remember which. I don't think there was a Demacian boat, or a Piltover boat. And the Noxus boat is, at the start of the turn, he does damage to the enemy Nexus 3 times, I think. It's either the Nexus 3 times or a random or 3 random targets. But since it does its damage in individual pings, everything that triggers off of hitting the opponent gets 3 triggers, which is super brutal. That's why it like works so crazily with Swain. Okay, yeah, that's pretty rude. Alright, let's see if we can get back to this. Actually, can I check the... I mean, it's going to tell me it's got 1 pip no matter what. So, let's see what we can do with 1 pip. But, we'll probably have to give this a break. Now, I am going to be online for a lot of tomorrow. I've got a very free day. I've got some leftovers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's super Swainy. So I'm thinking tomorrow, I've got options. I was thinking about just buying the Ruined King tomorrow and playing that on stream. If folks would be down to clown for that, it'd be super great. What was my other option? I was thinking either Ruined King or Jedi Fallen Order for tomorrow. And I was just going to play for like probably 6 hours in between other stuff. I just want to like wake up late, chill out, order a pizza maybe if I need any more food, and have a groovy stream day. There we go. With the lightning damage, I can just carve into these guys pretty freely. Ready with Beast Blood pellets. Top off here because we can. Do this, and it's a lot less damage compared to when I was using the paper earlier. The paper and the pellet together. Like mode switched, and he's gonna like do explosions and call things from the sky. So every time he rears up, we need to get a move on. Okay, he took me out. Yeah. Okay, so given that my controller is probably just gonna die again, we're gonna be giving this a rest, and I'll be getting back to this. I might play this some tomorrow. But I wanted to give the game a bit of a break because I've been going hard on the Bloodborne. And I've been having fun with it, but I have been going hard on the Bloodborne. So, you know, we'll groove on something new tomorrow, whether it's Ruined King or Fallen Order. If anybody wants to, like, put their finger on the scale, message me on Steam or Discord if you got it, and, like, let me know. I'll make up my mind probably sometime between noon and 1 tomorrow, and I'll be running something through like the midday into the afternoon. All right, this has been Jupiter Exile. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have had a fantastic holiday thus far, and hopefully you don't need to get back to work anytime soon, and you have a nice chill weekend. Uh, I have a weird looking purple face. uh, Good evening, and until next we wander, good night. I should say that with a different cadence. Until next we wander, good night. It still sounds a little off. Whatever. See you again later.